Okay, good.
Hello, I'm Kit.
And I'm Inti.
And we are Watch Music, Say Things from Our Heads. Today we're going to be watching Bruno Mars, but before we do, remember to smash that bell, and then you won't be able to get notifications from us because the bell is smashed. So,
if you want to check out some more of both of us, we wrote
but you
a
don't
musical.
want to look at our faces.
Yeah, you just want to hear us. We wrote a musical which is on Spotify and other places that you can find your podcast. Love Pill the Musical.
Nice! You should go and listen to that musical wherever you get your podcast. It's a comedy musical podcast about romance and drugs.
Awesome. This was a suggestion, did I say? Recommendation? What did I say? Order?
You said it was a music video that we were going to watch.
No, this was a request. This is a request from a fan, who I don't know their name.
Are they a fan
So this is for you.
Who are they a fan of?
They're a fan of us.
Oh, okay, great. And
Yeah.
they hate Bruno Mars.
No, they hate Bruno Mars, but they're a fan of Watch Music, Say the Words. They love that
From
channel.
Our Heads.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice.
Sex by the fire at night, silk sheets and diamonds, all white. Lucky for you, that's what I like. That's what I like. Lucky for you, that's what I like. That's what I like. Oh, I'm talking trips to Puerto Rico. Say the word and we go. You can be my fleeca, girl. I'll be your fleeca.
That's very Bruno Marsy. That sure is Bruno Marsy. I like, you don't usually hear this with many songs, but I like how the verses are really punchy, like tell me girl what's happening. But the chorus, which is usually, you know, the elevated bit of music, is a soft kind of sex by the fire at night, took sheets and like all the music sort of dies down. You don't really get that with songs very often.
Yeah, where the chorus has that mellow feel, but the verses are really punchy.
Yeah.
Well, a famous song I can think of with that is Stan by Eminem and Dido. Are there any songs where, because I don't really know anything about music, are there any songs where they actually change significantly the tempo between the verse and the chorus? Like, where, you know, I don't know, like, the verses are like 128 BPM, and then for the chorus, they just take it down to like 100 BPM. And it's like, whoa, okay. This is like, because with this, I suppose you were saying, like, how in the chorus here, it's got a mellower feel because they take out the drums, they've just got softer singing, clicking. But I presume it's the same tempo, right?
I don't know, let me check. How does the verse even go? I gone and kicked to Puerto Rico, to the good we go. Sex by the fire at night. Yeah, I think it does change tempo.
And that section where they did that little bit where they mentioned Puerto Rico, and like the sound of the music behind him just suddenly sounded a lot more, you know,
Salsa.
Like,
Yeah.
Salsery, that's it. Right.
Yeah, it's great.
What is it that makes something salsery? Is it something like the interval between the notes or something? Like, what is it that gives it that? Yeah, like.
Often salsa music do this thing where they go bap, they go bap bap, and then they just drop one note down, so it's like bap 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 bap. They kind of do da 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 da. Do 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 do. They kind of do that for some reason.
Wow,
They do that so much
so
that
cool.
we think that sound is really Latin.
Yeah, and like, are you staying on the same
Kind of
anchor
bass notes. Yeah,
note?
yeah.
It's not like you're going like ba 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 ba. Like,
No,
you're not doing
yeah,
that. You're doing this, and you
Yeah,
keep going back. Wow,
exactly,
that's
yeah.
that's such a clear mathematical reason why that is distinctive. That's so cool. As in, like, you know, it's because they're doing this shape, and it's like, oh yeah, that gives it a distinctive sound. That is a tangible thing that they're doing. Imagine in a cartoon show, a character falls down and someone plays the womp womp womp, but they anchor the notes. So like, oh, I hope I don't step on that banana skin. Boom.
Wah, 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 wah.
Tell me, baby, tell me, baby, what you tryna do? Don't you be shining so bright? Strawberry champagne on us. Lucky for you, lucky for you. That's what I.
It sounds like, you know, in a song when they're approaching the final chorus, like the second, you know, the end of the song where they do the chorus and they do the chorus again, but it's all just like bigger.
Yeah.
That's this whole song.
She's getting bigger and bigger.
Song, the whole song is that it's as if the whole song is the final chorus. So they're just pulling out all the stops and adding in all these extra these extra flourishes and stuff.
I always find this funny because one specific example of what I'm about to tell you happened in the classic maybe 90s song, the thong song, thong, where they do the thing you're talking about. They keep building, and then it just starts to sound super dramatic and serious. But he's still just singing about a thong. But it's so like dramatic, and it's getting bigger and more action packed. I feel like this is doing that as well. Like it makes me kind of laugh when they start getting real dramatic with the music, but they're still just sort of singing about sex by the fire at night.
Yeah, there's a certain like synth. There's a certain like note that if you hold it, probably set of notes, but like if you hold it sustained in the background, it makes everything feel like emotional and dramatic. And like you often might do it with strings, but you could do it with synth. You know, like the kind of thing where just like the just such a simple cheap trick, but like, you know, if I record myself saying, and then I looked, and the sandwich wasn't on the plate. And if I give you that with nothing in the background, it just sounds neutral. But if I play you that exact same clip, but I add in the background, you know what I mean? That kind of like, just like that one sustained note, and then like it sounds emotional and meaningful.
There's there is a trick, and I know exactly what you mean because I try to use it in my music writing sometimes because it creates tension. And I think music is always, you start off at home, you start off in the key, let's say the key of C. Don't ask me what key the song is in, because I do not know. But we start off in the key of C. So C is that home note. That damn C feels home. And the C chord is like the perfect triad of the C. Is like the most homely chord you will have in that song. And then every other chord you do is departure from that. Yeah. And it starts creating tension. But what you can do is, because you can play all these other chords, but what you can do is choose all the other chords which have a C within them. So, you know, maybe, for example, the A minor has a C in it. So if you start off with C and you play the C chord triad, and then you go to the A minor, you're still hitting that C note, and then you go to this other chord which has a C. Maybe a C won't be in like just the main three notes. Maybe a C will be the seventh in that chord. It'll be like the major seventh will still be a C, but you're always hearing that C, and it's this tension, this elastic sort of tension that's pulling you, and you're like, I want to go back home, I can hear that home, that C is always being pressed in all these separate chords that you're pressing.
With it because we're not going all the way back home.
Yeah, exactly, and it is a great way to build tension. If you keep choosing, if your song's in C and you want to create tension, choose other chords which have the note C within that chord, and it will just slowly build more and more tension because you'll just keep hearing that C. I heard your favourite, and I wonder what you think about this, because I'm not sure how many female producers are out there.
Oh, you're talking about Grimes, are you?
Grimes?
Oh no, who are you talking? Well, you said you left me hanging.
Okay,
you teased me because you said, "Oh, I saw your favourite," but then you didn't say. And then because you talked about women producers, I assume you're talking about Grimes, but maybe. Well,
I heard basically that thing about the tension and the C. It was some kind of YouTube video I watched, and it was this female producer talking about it. And I recently saw a video by Jacob Collier, our favourite here at We Listen to Music and Say What It Is for Our Brains. And he was saying, and I really agreed with him, especially after hearing that lady talk about that, like, women a lot of women have such a great instinct about how music should feel. Obviously, women are great musicians, great at everything, but women have really great instincts specifically about how music should feel, and they connect feelings really well. But there aren't enough female producers out there. It's really a male-dominated industry, the production of music, and it's like, and I really agreed with Jacob Collier here, like, give young women not just instruments to learn to play, but give them like the technical side of it as well, the production side, going on a laptop and learning how things should feel, because that tension trick, I think she explained it so beautifully, and it's such a feeling. So it's such a feeling rule. It's not like a mathematical rule as such as it is a feeling rule. For some reason, it just feels like it's building tension there. And women are really, they have such great instincts of that in music. There aren't enough female producers out there. So give your 2-year-old daughter a Logic Pro.
Logic Pro.
Yeah. To me, I'm not sure the breakdown worked so well because every single chorus was a breakdown.
Yeah. When you got a 5-minute song that never stops amping.
I must say, I really think Bruno Mars is a great musician because at the very end there, he does, because I'm a singer. For y'all at home who don't know, I'm a singer. And so I sing at weddings, and when you're like the singer of a wedding, you often have to lead the band in moments where we're not just following the song. Maybe there's a moment where it kind of breaks down like what they're doing. And he just did the thing where after they did the after they did all the O's, the music kind of like was building, and he turned around and stopped them perfectly.
Right.
He did the hand thing, stopped it perfectly, and they all stopped. And then it was the final note, and they all followed him perfectly. And he just has, I find that stuff hard to initially feel. Like I don't know how long to let that drum roll last for.
Right, because you as the singer you're the conductor as well.
Exactly, I'm leading. I have to
gigs
sort
and
of lead the band there in those moments. So when there's like a drum roll and they're like, "Stay on that chord. We're ready. We're waiting for you, Inti," and I'm like, "Now maybe." Like I never have that in my heart. I don't know when to stop.
Wow.
He's great. I think sometimes maybe he writes songs which are maybe vocally a bit too hard for him to sing. Like sometimes I can see his neck is like this, and he's like, you can see the vein in his neck, and his head's all the way up there, which I don't think you should sing like that. I think that's a bad singing technique. You just like a mouth is even further away from where sound is getting made. Like I think keep yourself centered, but he goes like that.
Yeah.
It just doesn't seem like a good way to sing. He still sounds great, but I think maybe he should write a song that's a tiny bit like he should write a song where he doesn't have to do that.
Well, I say well done, Bruno Mars. 9 out of 10.
I'd say 9 out of 10 as well.
Now, we've already told you about, what did we tell you about at the beginning of this episode? I think Love Pill the Musical, I think that's what we told you to look up.
Yeah.
Wherever you get your podcast. We told you that at the beginning, so there's nothing to say at the end.